We have an exclusive CNN interview for you this morning, a one-on-one with House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who is poised to potentially become House Speaker if Republicans win control of the House tomorrow. CNN's Melanie Zanona sat down with McCarthy on the campaign trail in Texas. Melanie, what did Kevin McCarthy tell you about what a Republican majority is going to look like, what their plans are if they do win the House tomorrow?
Well, Caitlin, I met up with the House Minority Leader here on the Texas border, where he is rallying for a number of Hispanic Republican women candidates who are vying to represent the Rio Grande Valley. And I started by asking him why he chose to be here in the closing days of the campaign.
Well, I could be anywhere in the country right now, but when you think about it, these are very competitive races. This is some exciting candidates. Mayra Flores, which shocked the world. No one thought she could win the seat, and she won it in the primary, right? Competitive race now, but she's the first Mexican-born woman ever elected to Congress. She's doing a tremendous job. Monica de la Cruz, who came so close last time, she's going to make sure she wins it there. And then Cassie Garcia. I mean, what an unbelievable trio of these three ladies that are remarkable in the instance. We want to give them all the support we can. We've been engaging there. But for the one standpoint, they represent this district very well. And you see a changing demographics. When Mayra won, her district is 84% Hispanic. It also shows Republicans can compete anywhere in the country. Not only is the party expanding and moving forward, these candidates, I think, will inspire so many young women across the country. They're going to look up and say, that can be me. I can get elected to Congress. And we're just going to see more and more Republican women from all different backgrounds running for Congress.
On the border, if you're Speaker, what will you specifically do to secure the border?
Well, there's a number of things. I think stay in Mexico, you have to right off the bat. You've got to stop the cartel's control of the border. You've got to stop fentanyl from coming across. Fentanyl, when you think about it, is a chemical of mass destruction. It is killing our next generation. It's the #1 killer of Americans between the ages of 18 and 45. And anytime you think about that, those are the ages of individuals who enlist to defend our nation. That is the age that is most productive in the workforce. It is destroying this nation. It's coming through this border, the poison from Mexico on in through the cartels. And 300 Americans are going to be poisoned and died today. 300 tomorrow. And
so how do you stop that?
Well, this White House has done nothing. Well, you do it from a number of different ways. You first do a very frontal attack on China to stop the poison from coming. You control your borders and take control of it down here. You don't keep it wide open. You provide the resources that the border agents need, but you also provide to make sure the cartels aren't controlling the border in the background. There are a number of provisions we have that we will move forward on. And then you also make sure that fentanyl, in time, anybody who wants to move it, you can prosecute them for the death penalty, because that's exactly what it's doing.
Will there be an immigration bill on the floor if Republicans win the House?
I think the first thing you'll see is a bill to control the border first. You've got to get control over the border. You've had almost 2 million people just this year alone coming across. But a part that hasn't been written about, when I came here more than a year and a half ago, it's the first time it really got mentioned, the people we were catching on the terrorist watch list. You know, there's been 98 people on the terrorist watch list. It's very difficult to get on that. And we caught them coming across the border just this year. The White House tried to keep that secret. You know, in California, we caught a number of individuals coming from Yemen on the terrorist watch list. Why are they coming here? What do they have planned? And who are they talking to? Now, those are just the ones we caught. What about the individuals we have not caught that are roaming around through our country?
On two other issues that Republicans have talked a lot about, crime and inflation, what would Republicans specifically do to bring those down?
Well, that's perfect. That's why we came out with a commitment to America, so people see exactly what we'll do. First thing we're going to do is make sure an economy that's strong. You look at
what specific bill would that be?
Well, what you first see is, why do we have inflation, right? Even Larry Summers warned the Democrats not to pass the American Rescue Plan. Send $1 billion of hardworking taxpayer money to prisoners, right? You've got to curtail government spending. The next thing you have to do is bring greater productivity, right? So incentivize people to go to work, not to stay home. Don't pay them more to stay home. You've got to make sure that the new regulations that are adding to inflation has got to get curved back. Then you've got to make sure America's energy independent. If you lower the price of fuel, you also lower transportation costs and others. That is a very big mark to start out with. That's what we plan to do. It also creates more American jobs, make us less dependent in other areas. what makes America stronger and higher paid. After we get done doing that, we would look at how do we make sure a nation that is safe. One is securing the border. Another provision is not to defund the police, but fund the police. We'll provide more grants to give more recruiting opportunity for officers to come and training. We'll also go through and look at all the prosecutors and score them of whether they're prosecuting and upholding the law, because what we're finding is happening in New York, in Oregon, and others. Well, they won't prosecute, and crime continues to rise. We just heard the devastation when I was in New York this week of a young woman being raped by this serial criminal that's been arrested 25 times, should have never been on the street. And create that rating throughout so we provide greater security as we go.
On another policy issue, the debt ceiling, are you willing to risk a default by using this as a bargaining chip?
Well, people talk about risking, you don't risk a default. Think of about
not raising it would be a default.
We'll just sit and pause for one moment. We're not going to default, but think for one moment here.
Under your watch, there would be no default, is that what you're saying?
No, let me answer the question, all right? And let's not put other words in people's mouth. People go and say, oh, you're going to put a default. A debt ceiling is you hit a limit on your credit card. So if you're going to give a person a higher limit, wouldn't you first say you should change your behavior so you just don't keep raising it all the time? I think we need to look at where the waste, the fraud, and abuse. I mean, Washington has so much wasteful spending, we can curve that. And that's what we should start looking at from day one. And you'll see right after the election next week, I will come out with a number of provisions to get our house in order financially and do it in smart manners and really look across the nation, not just inside Congress itself, but some of the brightest minds across the country that can help us with this. Those that have turned around companies before. How do you eliminate waste, make more productivity? How do you eliminate duplication in others? You shouldn't just say, oh, I'm going to let you keep spending money. No household would do that.
Republicans did raise the debt ceiling under Trump.
Mm-hmm. And the Democrats, when they took over one-party control, went and spent $10 trillion that got us into this problem, got us inflation, hit another debt ceiling. Do you want to continue that same pattern? Or don't you think it's a responsibility to all the taxpayers that we curve that we eliminate any waste, that we eliminate what is going on all this spending? And I think those are the things we'll look at.
So besides the legislation Republicans have made, investigation is a huge priority. I know you said no, not going to predetermine the outcome, but is impeachment on the table?
You know what's on the table? Accountability. Shouldn't we know where the origins of COVID actually started? They didn't have one hearing on it. Shouldn't we know what happened in the last 60 days of Afghanistan so we would never repeat that again? We wouldn't have 13 new Gold Star families that should have never happened? Shouldn't we know why the DOJ would take it upon themselves to go after parents that would go to school board meetings? And shouldn't we know where the taxpayers' money is being spent? I call that accountability. And that's a responsibility for Congress, regardless of whoever party is in the White House.
Some of your members are already calling for impeachment. What do you say to those members?
I say the one thing I've always known about the land of America, it's the rule of law. And we will hold the rule of law, and we won't play politics with this. We'll never use impeachment for political purposes. It doesn't mean if something rises to the occasion, it would not be used at any other time. It wouldn't matter if it's a Republican or Democrat. But the idea of what the Democrats have done, what Adam Schiff did to this nation, is treachery. To lie to the nation and put us through this time and again when he knew where this origin's created from, we're better than all that. We need to make sure we get our nation back on track. And that's what the Commitment to America does. It is a plan for a new direction, economy that's strong, a nation that is safe, a future that's built on freedom, and a government that's accountable. That is our focus.
Speaking of oversight, Marjorie Taylor Greene says she wants a seat on the Oversight Committee. Are you okay with that? Would you support that despite her history of inflammatory remarks, denying the 2020 election?
Look, Marjorie Greene, she's going to get reelected. She's going to have committees to serve on. And
on oversight, though, would you be?
She's going to have committees to serve on, just like every other member. And every other member goes through a steering committee, looking at the best places to serve. members request different committees, and as we go through the steering committee, we'll look at it.
And you're on the steering committee, so if she came to you and said, I want a seat on oversight, would you support that?
I'm one person on the steering committee. The steering committee,
although it has more weight than other votes.
The steering committee will decide where we serve. But Marjorie Greene is going to have committees. Yes, she's duly elected by her district and has a right to serve.
But you have no red lines in terms of which committee assignments she could get.
She can put through the committee she wants, just like any other member in our conference that gets elected.